Another agenda question, 5.40, which is the contractor evaluation agenda item. Was there any members of the board recused from performing that evaluation due to conflict of interest or anything like that? Or any board members refused to be involved? Recused? Conflict of interest type
What
issues?
is the item number? 5.4.
The contractor evaluation.
Okay. The answer is no. Everyone participated.
No one was deemed to have a conflict of interest due to political contributions or political activity or anything like that regarding some of the vendors involved. I'll just come out and ask it more directly. I'll just come out and ask her more directly. Yes.
We did have one member of the board who abstained for the majority of the legal, and that was Mr. Fontenot.
Majority of the legal, what does that mean? You mean the solicitors?
Different firms he abstained for.
And what was the reason for that abstention?
He said conflict of interest.
Just Mr. Fontenot. I'll just come out and ask the question more directly. Mr. Long's law firm donated to Mr. Gallo and Mrs. Dantino's political campaign. I think there was a conflict of interest there, maybe even a code of ethics violation, so I would have thought at minimum they would have had been excluded from the contract evaluation, but my feeling is stronger than that, is that there's a code of ethics violation because of that, because of the political involvement. So there was no discussion on that or any consideration or any executive meeting discussion around any of that?
Sure.
I disagree with your opinion that there's a conflict of interest in the code of ethics violation for Ms. Gallo and Ms. Dantino. We did not contribute to their campaign.
Did not directly. Does anyone deny that the political campaigns run by the political party that controls our town, and all the political action committees, the political committees that are associated with them, that they're all intertwined, they're all commingled, they all run themselves basically as a unit? Is there anyone that wants to deny that? That's my assertion. That there's 5 political action committees in our township, and a number of Democratic-controlled campaigns and Democratic Party-controlled school board election campaigns that are all basically run as a unit, commingled. Any donation to any one of those gets transferred around, gets moved around. That's a donation. A donation to one is a donation to all. Is there anyone who wants to deny that assertion?
If that's your opinion, that's fine. We did not donate to their campaigns. And there's a regulation right on point that governs this. That says that a school board is prohibited from awarding a contract over $17,500 to any business entity which has made a portable contribution to a member of the Board of Education.
So you are denying my assertion that your law firm's contribution to a mayor, I'll use names now, a mayor-controlled PAC, or a mayor-controlled political election campaign, a contribution to any one of those is the same as a contribution to any other one of those.
I disagree with that.
You disagree with that?
Yes.
Did you ever notice the activity back and forth? Did you ever notice the activity back and forth between all those committees? That they're freely exchanged back and forth. That's one assertion. It's the same fairly small set of contributors that contribute to that. I'm in the middle of something here.
I understand that, but your 5 minutes is up, so we are going to move on to the next person, and if there's no one else that would like to speak before we start, we'll give it back to you. Is there
Pete
anyone else
Heindall,
that would
Morningstar
like
Court.
I didn't get to see if anybody else would like to address the board at this time. Go right ahead. You know what? I didn't see you because of the poll. I'm sorry.
My name's Andy Rosati. I live 76 Deer Park Circle. Wendy's my neighbor. I see a lot of conflict going on and a lot of accusatory statements. And the business at hand, I thought, was for the welfare of the schools and the township and the children. And it seems like the meeting should get more to that than about political parties accusing one another of what is this and what is that, unless there's actual facts presented. And that's the way I feel about it. And I will give him the rest of my minutes to get his point across, because that's what all I had to do, inject into this conversation.
All right,
You
thank
have the
you.
rest of my time.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
So when you look as a whole, these political campaign committees that are run by mayor, controlled by mayor and the party, and the political action committees that are controlled by the same. The list of contributors is from the same small group of contract awardees, Mr. Long's law firm being one of those, but it's the engineering firms that awarded contracts, the financial firms in our township that awarded contracts, and by the school district also. It's the same small group of contributors to all, equally spread around to all of these committees, mayor political committees. It's the same small group of officers, committee chairpersons and committee treasurers that run these. They're all, Mrs. Coyle, former member Mrs. Coyle was one of those. I mean, it's all the same small group of connected party members. In addition to that, we have 3 members sitting at this table who are actually members now of the Camden County Democratic Party Committee. I mean, it's hard to deny that there's outside political influence that conflicts with the code of ethics for this board. It's hard to deny. Mrs. Reese, I really hoped when you took this office, when you took your position in January, I was hopeful that you would find a way to sever this influence, to end this influence, whether it was pay-to-play regulations or whatever you want to call it. But we just need to get rid of this outside political influence. I'm tired of this battle. I'm tired of sounding like I'm politically motivated when I stand here. In fact, it's the opposite is the case. I can't stand the outside political influence. I can't stand it. And I'm not up here because I have my own political agenda. I'm out here because I cannot stand the political agenda I see on this board, the outside political influence. I could start naming names. I'm going to name numbers because everyone will know. 9 members on this board. There's 4 of them. I'm not going to name names because you're going to know. There's 4 of them that you can't deny are directly tied to Mayor and the politics of Mayor. There's 2 that you cannot deny, but if you follow the money, follow the political activity, 2 that you can't deny or not. There's 3 that are kind of mixed. If you follow the money, if you follow campaigns, if you follow the political paths they took to get here. So that's 4 out of 9, maybe 7 out of 9. It's time to do something affirmative to end this political connection and influence to this board. It's just time. So just please, that's my comment. Thank you.
Hi, Jen O'Donnell, Ariel. I'm curious to know if anything is happening with the swearing under oath of Mr. Pierce on 2 occasions that he could serve the board and then had to get removed from the board when his background check came through. Has anything been done about that? Has anyone looked into that?
My office reported it to the prosecutor's office, but we had not heard. Since we reported it when it happened, but had not heard from what the prosecutor's office.
And no one followed up on that?
I don't know if anybody followed. I have not. I don't know if anybody from my office did, but I can certainly.
Mr. Fontenez, you know anything? Nothing. Okay, so I'm going to request that since there's several board members and our solicitor is on the same board, Democrat board, as Mr. Pierce, I'm going to ask that something separate be done outside of the board. He wasted a lot of time, a lot of money, and made you all look like fools when he stood there twice, put his hand on the Bible, and swore that he could pass a background check, and when it came back, he had to be removed from the board. And I'm floored that no one on the board seems to care or to do anything about it. So I would like maybe an independent attorney come in, take a look at it, maybe go after him for the money, something to make it right. It still lingers.
Yes.
Wendy Williams, just to piggyback on what Ms. O'Donnell said, this isn't the first time that the board has been asked about what is going on with Pierce. So to get the response like, we haven't done anything, we haven't looked into it, it's been over a year, it's been a year and a half, and everybody kind of looks dumbfounded that we're mentioning it. It's not the first time it's been mentioned, but yet everybody's like, nothing's been done, nothing's been done, nothing's been done. Does anybody care that he misrepresented himself?
I cared by virtue of a no vote. We were instructed, as you know, by New Jersey school boards at 4 o'clock on the day of reorganization to swear in anyone that was
She
elected
appointed.
or appointed without their fingerprints, and we followed what we were asked to do. It was a directive that came from the Department of
Right.
Ed.
So doesn't
So-
it just boil your blood to make you want to go after him and sink your claws into him? Somebody? Sorry, Linda.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't it get your Irish up? If nothing else? This isn't, I mean, it's just everyone's kind of like, it's not the first time somebody's brought it up in a meeting. So I just wanted to piggyback on what she said, that
Thank you.
somebody needs to get the ball rolling on this and something needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Yes.
I'd like to follow up.
May I have your name, please?
Terry Fritz, Blackwood, New Jersey. I'd like to follow up on what Peter asked and what they're saying, in that if I went somewhere and I swore in a Bible, and I said I'm taking an oath, and then I'm found that what I said was a lie, I would be in trouble for that. And I don't understand how y'all can just sweep it under the carpet. I passed it on to his law firm, and by his own admission, Mr. Long says he personally didn't follow up on it, so he doesn't know anything about it.
No, but we did report it.
Okay, you reported it.
Yes.
And I'm going to be really honest. I've been a resident of this township for a really long time. I've been a registered voter. I vote all the time. I would feel a lot more comfortable when someone asks a question, a legal question, and as the board solicitor, you're giving your opinion. I would feel I personally, and I'm sure I'm not alone from what I've heard from people, I would feel a lot more comfortable with your interpretation, or you feel it's not a conflict of interest, or you don't think that, you think it's okay. I'd feel a lot better if your firm that you're from wasn't contributing to any Democratic or Republican or any party. You weren't contributing to any PACs, or you weren't contributing to put anybody on the Board of Education. But mostly, I think I'm most personally upset by anybody on the board, including yourself, that I saw on the ballot was running for that Democratic committee. And I think what bothered me the most is that it said a vote for you, or a vote for her, or a vote for anybody that was on there, is a vote for Mr. Pierce. I mean, it's clearly said right on that preliminary ballot, a vote for one is a vote for all. So even if I really liked, I don't know, pick anybody. I picked Mr. Gallo. Even if I really liked Mr. Gallo, he wasn't on there, by the way, but if he was, and I wanted to vote for him, I wouldn't, because I read on there that a vote for one is a vote for all. So anybody on this board, including yourself, you helped him to get elected to that position, knowing that he lied to all of us. I was here when he lied to all of us. I don't think that that's really acceptable. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to be the solicitor, I'd feel more comfortable that what you're telling me, I consider it a little bit, I'm not sure if I believe it, because you are connected to something. And I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican. I happen to be a Democrat. But that doesn't mean I vote for each and every one of them. So I just think that when that Mr. Heimbold asked you, he asked you because he probably felt like I just don't understand how you can answer these questions and say it's not a conflict, or you don't see it as one, and for me to believe that you're not beholden to them when you're connected with them, that you have no feelings towards them. I just would like to see it be, if you weren't connected, I'd feel better about your answers. That's what I'm saying, and I'm saying as a resident and a voter. And I just think you all should be concerned about it.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Yes.
I'd like to go back to the PAC stuff, because I'm going to draw the line pretty clearly for you, Mr. Long. Your firm gave to a PAC of $3,500. That PAC, in turn, gave another PAC, Gloucester Township Parents for Educational Excellence, that exact $3,500. That PAC was behind all the Reject Bobby signs that went out. It was also behind that really classless video that went out talking about how he is a criminal defense attorney and spinning it so disgustingly to fit your needs. So you can say, I didn't give anything to them. You really did. The exact same amount. And it only came from a few people, but your exact same amount went into that PAC that helped 2 people on the board get elected, this board get elected, and put out the nasty video when this all has to do with our children. It all has to do with our kids. So the Pierce thing, sitting on the Democrat committee with Pierce, who is a known liar and probably a felon because he failed his background check, and then the contributing to the PACs makes it look a little seedy, and I'm pretty sure the Board of Education is supposed to gain the trust of the public. I'm pretty sure that's in one of those ethics somewhere. Also, not to be beholden to political parties, that's like letter F. But one of them high up there is to have the trust of the people. And tell me how the people can trust you when that's what's happening.
At this time, there will be no action. Are there any board member comments?
I'll say something.
Yes.
Just with regards to all the comments that are being made about county committee and things like that, I haven't been sworn in yet, but I would be on county committee. I am a registered Democrat. I can tell you that nobody tells me what to do or say. I am not a parrot, and I vote everything and go over everything based on my conscience. I do a lot of volunteer. I do National Night Out, which was years before I was on the Board of Ed. Relay for Life, things like that. I do a lot for our community. I don't know what anybody else does for the community, but